Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Michael got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 to the coast. 20 15. Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. Okay? Do us that favor. All right, go to that page as well. Like that page. And not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following the show's page, Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. All right? Cool. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. All right, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button. Click the subscribe button. And also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it. And that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. You get it? Got it? Good. Listen, if you're watching this on our mobile app, wait, you didn't know? Listen, we have our own mobile app. Come on now, let's listen. So it doesn't even matter where you get your apps from. It doesn't matter where you get them from. All right, so here's what you do. Wherever you get them from, you go there, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, wherever you get them from, you go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. Yay. Sports Zone Chicago. If you don't know, what? We have our own Roku channel. Are you serious? Keep this. All right, listen. Here's what I need you to do. Give me one second, Steve-O. Here's what I need you to do. If you have a Roku television in the house, okay, do me this favor. All right, download Sports Zone Chicago's tile to your TV. All right, put it there, but Netflix, Prime, Hulu, Disney Plus, Apple, you see it. Oh, perfect. You see it. All right, do us a favor. Download it. Even if it's a kid's room. You know, the kids, they watch all the little TV, the kids stuff. Just download it to that TV as well. All right, we would greatly appreciate it. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IG and you do it just for the gram, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. Listen, we have a phenomenal show, but we need you to get interactive with us today. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that particular platform. It'll come up here in a thread, and we'll put it on the screen. We'll talk about it. We'll incorporate it into the show. And you know what? That is what makes this the best show, best Chicago sports morning show around. Let's see what is going on in the chat, because it is jumping already. Cornelius Squalls in the Mickey Vicky house. What up, Cornelius? Monica, what up? I love it. Mashawn Walls. Well, give me some love. Cornelius Squalls in the house. Monica, she's in the house. My man, Mashawn Walls in the Mickey Vicky house. Good morning. Brandon Schutz. Woo-woo. Good morning. I'm good. What are you saying? Watch you on the way. Turn it on. Oh, lovely. Patty in the house. Good morning. Lavette Lee, she's in the house. Good morning, Ma. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And my man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. My man Junior's in the house. What is going on? Oh man, we got some of the usual suspects in here. I like it a lot. Usual suspects in here. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will check in as the show goes on. Listen, we have a phenomenal show. I was able to get an interview with Mason West. He's the guy that I've talked to a few times whenever we're dealing with injuries. All right, he's over at the he's the clinic director and physical therapist over at the Ignite Physical Therapy in West Loop. He also has his own podcast called the co-host of the Bare Bones podcast. And he is I talked to him about this whole Justin Fields injury, what it actually consists of. See, because here's the thing. People will speculate. It's unfortunate, but you know how people are. People will speculate and they'll say, well, in his case, a dislocated thumb is this. A dislocated thumb means that. All right. Have you studied medicine? Have you had a dislocated thumb? Has anyone you know close to you had a dislocated thumb? Someone that you would talk to and say, what happened? A family member. Okay. Sometimes most people don't know what it is. They hear stuff. They think they know, and they don't know. They don't know. This guy knows. So anytime that we have a medical issue, I'm definitely bringing him on. And I talked to him, and we're going to talk to him. I was able to get an interview with him the other day, so we're going to play that today. That'll be at 9:30. And then at 10 o'clock, Beth Mishler-Elmore. She covers the Bears for Heavy.com and BearReport.com. I'm going to get her take. What is she thinking? Is she ready to throw in a towel? Is she ready to say that it's time for the Justin Fields era to be over? Or does she have the stay of execution? What does Beth have to say? I'm curious. I'm interested. So we have Beth Mishler-Elmore. She's coming up at 10 o'clock. Whew. But, guys, you know how we do. Let's see what else. You know how we do, folks. The first segment of every show, because we got to get it started. First segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
First, top of the morning topic, and it was a rough one yesterday. Rough one. What? No, here we go. The Bulls. The Bulls lose to the Toronto Raptors yesterday on the West Side, 106-102. Zach LaVine in exhibition action, of course. Zach LaVine, he led the way with 25 points. Nikola Vucevic, he had 20 points, 10 rebounds. DeMar DeRozan, he contributed 15 points. Kobe White chipped in 10, and Patrick Williams chipped in. I'm sorry, Kobe White had 11. Patrick Williams had 10. It's tough. I am but it's preseason first and foremost. Let's not get it twisted. It's not sky isn't falling. Okay, we can relax. But I do want to see them win. I do want to see them play well. Especially because there's a lot of question marks running around, or should say a lot of question marks around this team. You're running it back with predominantly the same team as you did last year. And that team wasn't good enough. So now you expect the team to be better? Are you expecting a market improvement from Kobe White, who had a good year last year? Are you expecting a breakout year for Patrick Williams? I think we all are. So there's a lot of question marks. Who's going to be the point guard? Is it going to be Kobe White? Can Lonzo play? Will he be able to come back by the end of the season, or is it literally just the entire season down the drain again? Who's going to rebound? Apparently, Coach Billy Donovan doesn't like playing Andre Drummond. I mean, I don't know why. Drummond is basically a double-digit rebounding machine. He was a walking double-double back in his day. And I think he's only like 28, 29. It's crazy. But who's going to rebound? Who's going to defend the rim? There's a lot of questions. Going around the Chicago Bulls team, and I don't have any answers. Here's the crazy part. I don't know if the team has any answers. Because Bulls fans, we have a lot of questions. We definitely have a lot of questions. Answers? That I don't know. That, my friends, I don't know. Well, moving on. Next topic of the morning topic, baseball. Woo, Charlie, baseball. National League Championship Series. Game 2. Philadelphia Phillies, oh, wow, obliterated the Arizona Diamondbacks 10-0. Philadelphia leads the series 2-0. Former Chicago Cub Kyle Schwarber cranked not 1, but 2 homers yesterday. And, Schwarber is something. He is something special. All right. He is something special. Cub fans, you knew it. Hell, White Sox fans knew it too when we watched him. This guy is a pure out and out hitter. Okay. He is a hitter. This dude can change a game with one swing. And the thing about it is he's not just strong, he's powerful. Because if you look at his home runs, like we've all seen strong guys hit home runs before. His home runs are explosive. Like the way they sound coming off of his bat is almost criminal. When he tees it up and he gets all of it, both of them yesterday, they're no doubters. He knows it. You could tell. You could see it when he's at the plate and he gets a hold of it, whap, and then stops. And he knows it. Outfielders usually don't move. They're like, shit. We got. We got. I just saw a stat the other day. It said, oh, dude, who was it? The only someone help me if they saw the stat too. Only got 15 homers in under 50 postseason games. Was it Babe Ruth and Kyle Schwarber or someone else in Kyle Schwarber? That's the list. 2. 15 games, 15 homers in under 50 postseason games. This guy is electric. All right, game 3 is Thursday. Philadelphia travels to Arizona. That game is at 4:07, and that's on TBS. He's found a home. Him and Bryce Harper together. You saw them game 1. That's insane. That is a bad duo. I guess those some bad boys right there. Will they win another World Series? I don't know. Well, we're gonna find out. Will Schwartz get one? We're gonna find out. It's gonna be interesting to watch it play out. But keeping it moving, the next top of the morning topic, we're talking the ALCS game 3. Game 3 is tonight, 7:03. That game's on Fox. Texas leads 2-0. I'm okay with this. I am more than okay with this. You know, I will never have any more love for the Astros, for Abreu. I like him, but you went to the wrong team. So now you're one of them. I know what you did here for a long time for us, and I'm appreciative of it. But now you're on that team. And anytime that they lose, I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be. Just could not be happier. I just don't. And I know you should forgive, but for some reason I can't. I won't. I refuse. I'm like, no way. No. But I don't know. So let's go. You know, I'm rooting, having a vested interest. Let's go Texas. It's the Battle of Texas. Texas Rangers versus the Houston Astros. They need to close it out. Close it out, Texas. Let's take the next 2 and call it a day. Get rid of the trash throws, the cheaters. You know, I know they got the little World Series. They got the little World Series title and everything, but I still don't have respect for that organization. Call me crazy. Call me petty. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, man. Next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks travel to Colorado tomorrow to take on the Avalanche. And let me tell you something. They've been on a little whirlwind tour here. Okay. Chicago right now, they're 2-2. Okay. All their games have been against Stanley Cup contenders or potential anticipated Stanley Cup contenders. All 4 games and tomorrow night as well will have been on the road. Most of them are on major networks. Like tomorrow, 9:30 on ESPN. His first game was on ESPN. Then they're on TBS. All because of the Connor Bedard effect. Connor Bedard factor. This kid is special. This kid is special. The NHL knows it. The NHL is doing a good job of getting him and the Blackhawks showcased nationally. Okay. They finally come home next week, or this week, I should say. They finally, Saturday, they're home. But they're then against the defending champs, the Vegas Golden Knights. So you talk about a gauntlet of teams that this Blackhawks team has to face to start the season. Ouch. Ouch. First 5 games on the road. What the heck was that? I'm trying to think. Were there any concerts at the United Center? Is that why they had it scheduled this way? Because remember there used to be the circus trip every October, November. I think it was November. The annual circus trip where they would be away for 2 weeks, the Bulls and the Blackhawks, because the circus was in town. They called it the circus trip because the circus occupied the United Center. So they had to play all their games on the road. There's no more circus trip. They're done with that. But to start the first 5 games on the road, and they're 2-2. So you got a young team that's 2-2 against teams that are pretty all 4 of them to this point, and after today 5, are considered Stanley Cup contenders. Game 6, when they get home, the Golden Knights, well, they are Stanley Cup champions. So the first 6 games are pretty darn tough. But one of the things you've seen a lot of not just Connor Bedard, but you've seen a lot of other young players step up and make a name for themselves because they realize that Connor Bedard is going to get all the attention. And with that being said, that provides an umbrella, a shield, so to speak, where other players can kind of do their thing because everyone in their mom was watching Connor Bedard and watching what he does. Got a goal and 2 assists. Okay, but he's got 25, 26, 27 shots on net. All right, this guy's not shy. It's not shy. And let me tell you something. Once he starts to find the back of the net, get ready for that lamp to be lit often. He will light the lamp often. So enjoy it now, NHL. Blackhawk fans, be patient. Okay, he is definitely going to find the back of the net soon. Or again, I should say, but soon. Because he got his first goal in the second game. He hasn't scored in 2 games. He hasn't scored a goal in 2 games. But once they come, they're going to come in bunches. This kid is uberly talented. This kid is the next generational talent. After Austin Matthews, who we faced, after Connor Bedard. Okay, this is the next one. This is the next prodigy, hockey prodigy that's matriculated to the NHL. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Watch this team grow. Watch as they develop and add pieces to this team. You know, they're not a Stanley Cup contender by any stretch. Okay? But we know that. But watch as pieces start to get added in the offseason. Watch toward the end of the season or as this season, as players grow. Okay, you're going to, pardon me, you're going to see guys starting to get better. And it's going to be easy to see it. And that's the cool part. You're going to be able to see guys get better, notice their maturation, notice the improvement. You know, Corey Perry, you're going to watch him get better. All right, Tyler Johnson, Andreas Athanasiou. Seth Jones, Nick Foligno, Dickinson, Ryan Donato, Tyler Radish. These are guys that you're going to watch and see get better. And this team has not been they've not been blown out with all the youngsters on the team. They've been in every single game. Every single game. And I love it. I love it. Because that tells me that this team believes in their coach. This team is hungry. And this team has no fear. So, I'm telling you, if you can get a ticket to a Blackhawks game at the United Center, do it. Blackhawks might not win, but you're going to see an exciting brand of hockey. One is very reminiscent of the championship years that we just emerged from. Brian, I watched my first hockey because of Connor Bedard. Brian, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. I can guarantee you are not the only one who started watching hockey because of him. And that's awesome. It's a great game, especially when you have a superstar like Connor Bedard. Well, he's the superstar to be. Watch him. Just watch him develop. And it's going to be great. Just like we saw Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews develop and grow up before our eyes, we're going to see this kid develop and grow up before our eyes. He's going to be one of our own, like Derrick Rose. Drafted here. We watched him become a superstar. We watched Derrick Rose become league MVP. Will we see Connor Bedard be an MVP just like Patrick Kane? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to take a break. On the other side of the break, we're going to get that interview with Mason West on Justin Fields. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
2 years, but still a the last 2 years, but still a quality player on the perimeter. White, tough shot, and he got it to. Good threaded pass to Young. He's blocked by Torrey Craig. Here's White. Nice stop and go. Good use of the glass. Good outlet feed. White to Levine. He's done it with big-time names throughout the last several years. Bulls can go 2 for 1. It's Levine on the drive to the rim through the traffic. Stopping in the paint to set up Williams for 3.
From 3. He's got to take those shots.
Drummond jams it down. Vucevic rotates. Kobe White for 3. Got it.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. Good to hear Adam Mean back. He's got that voice. He's got one of those distinctive voices, just like Jason Benetti. It's good to hear. Good to hear. Local product. Buffalo Grove or New Trier? No. Addison Trail. There you go. I know it was a two-word town. High school that he went to, Addison Trail. Bulls came out on the bottom end, on the wrong end of the score yesterday, but there's some things that I'm happy about. There's some things that obviously we still need to work on. There's some things that I'm looking forward to. Can these guys get better? Can Patrick Williams take a step forward? Can Kobe White really take over those point guard roles, in a way that's going to be effective for the long haul? I don't know, man. There's so many questions with this team. I'm waiting to get this interview queued up. Waiting to get it queued up right now, and I'm going to see. It is, it's crazy. This interview, and I believe me, I want you to see it. This is good, because I like when, and maybe it's just me, because I'm not sure how many of you guys like, but I like to hear and understand things. All right, because they're going to give you what they want to give you. Talking to Bears. All right. They're going to give you what they want to give you. And sometimes it's not what you need to hear or what you want to hear. And that's the issue. Coach Eberflus does a great job of coach talk. All right. He beats around the bush. He doesn't answer questions. And it's a great tactic. All right. It's a great tactic if you don't realize what they're doing. But once you realize what they're doing, then yeah, it gets a little bit annoying. Then you're like, well, wait a minute. That's not the question. And that happens to me in press conferences. I asked him about the identity, and he kind of went around. Then at the end, he's like, well, and then about the identity, he says, we're going to be a team that scores a lot of points. And I don't want to be the jag bag. I really don't. But don't be a jag bag toward me or toward us. You know what I mean? I guess because I'm part of us now, as much as I'm not a big fan of the media things. I'm one of them now. And just be as forthright as you can. And even, what? I would have a lot more respect if you just said, you know what? I'm not going to discuss that right now. I'm not going to discuss it. Period. I can dig that. I can deal with that. But to try and out-talk people, not answering the questions, that's bothersome. I hope he's got to do a much better job. And I don't know if he's going to be here. I don't know if he's going to be here, how much longer he's going to be here. You know, there's and we're going to get at the top of the hour. We're going to get to ask Beth Mishler-Elmore her thoughts. You know, is this guy gone? This guy's going to have, if he continues the way he's going, he'll have the worst winning percentage of any Chicago Bears head coach. Any of them. I get it. They tanked last year, but that's not gonna factor in. You're gonna be the worst head coach in Chicago Bears history. Does that mean he gets fired? I don't know. Does that mean Ryan Poles gets fired? You know, I was at a podcast last night and something came up. Something struck me. And while I'm waiting for this to get queued up and all this, and I'm going to ask Beth this question. Is Matt Eberflus, is he really Ryan Poles' guy? Is he Ryan Poles' guy? Was Eberflus on the list of potential coaches that McCaskey was interviewing? And then when Ryan Poles started, when he got the job, and he said, I'll start taking over interviews from here. Did they say, hey, listen, we'll give you this, you'll get the job, but we need him as the head coach. You can go have a couple more interviews. You can, two or three or four more to make it look good, but this guy needs to be named the head coach. It works out. You guys have the same agent. So it'll look like it's your guy. Because one of the questions that I had is this. Why? Why would you, as a rookie GM, first-year GM, I should say first-year GM, why would you not go get a head coach, a veteran head coach? Why would you not go, knowing that you have Justin Fields? Why would you not do that? To me, that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. Why would you not get a guy who you know is going to bring in a quarterback guy to develop him? Or get an offensive head coach to develop him? There's a lot that doesn't sit well with me in that hiring now. A lot. So I don't know if, and it wouldn't surprise me by any stretch. It wouldn't. Because if there's a deep cleansing, a cleaning out, how high does it go? Are Poles and Eberflus married together? Is it a one-stop both? Is it 2 for 1? What is the situation there? What is the situation? Because I would think that if it's not his guy, we'll be able to find out, trust me, because if Poles goes, if Eberflus goes and Poles stays, wasn't his guy. It wasn't his guy. There's a lot. Cornelius. I never said why Paul was so quick to hire Flus. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. It something just doesn't sit well with me regarding that. It doesn't sit well with me. And they'll never tell us. And we may not find out until after it all plays out. But something's wrong. Something's wrong. It's just not. So there's a couple questions I had. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We got to take a quick break. We're still working on getting this clip up. We take another quick break. All right. And on the other side, we'll see if we can get through with this break. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the Army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators. A passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds. Help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Goes back to work with a 1st and 10. Cousins under pressure just flips it. That's a live ball.
You saw T.J. Hawkinson come in motion. You would think that one of those guys, and this happened a week ago as well on a similar time.
Fields sets up shot to throw it. Over the middle, nice catch. Perfectly placed ball.
Let me see every pass that the guy's
PAT blocked, and Tyreek Stevenson got his hand on that.
You need to take advantage of that. Not sure if that went the wrong way on that, but look at the way he can escape.
Well, here's the athleticism, the escapability.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. That was our frustrating team, the Bears. All right, those were our guys. And where do we start? Where do we start? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try the interviews as little. We wouldn't get the interview in before Beth comes on. All right. We won't be able to get it. So what we'll do is we'll play it after. We'll play it after Beth. We get a hold of Beth and she comes on at the top of the hour. So we'll finish up the end of the show with the interview with Mason. All right, that'll be easier. And we'll just we'll close out the show with that. All right, sudden change, things happen. All right, things take too long to download. The files are too big. I don't even know what the hell all it means, but it said files too big, couldn't download it. Got to do this, got to do that. I had to call Mork from Orc to try and get that figured out. It's craziness. But this is my thought. Let's talk about this. And I don't want to make this whole show Bears, but again, this is how sudden change, things happen. What are your thoughts on Eberflus and Poles? Because I figured they were married, and then I don't know what, something just, it reminded me. Remember? Do you remember when Ryan Pace took the job? Then they had Ernie Accorsi. You know, they had the consultants come in. And they, for all intents and purposes, they hired John Fox. And Ryan Pace was like, okay, I'm cool with it. See, it's very easy to manipulate first-time GMs. They want the job. And it's very easy. Oh, believe you me, I could easily see the McCaskey saying, okay, you can get the job, but this guy has to be hired. And the one thing you want to do is just get your foot in the door in a GM role. Because you think, okay, all right, if this coach works out, good. My resume's building and whatever. If not, hopefully I can get a chance to pick a head coach, build my resume and my reputation, and go from there. You just want to get in the door. There are only 32 general managing jobs. Only 32 NFL general managers, only 32 of them. So when you get that, especially if you're young and your first time, it's easier to be manipulated. You're gonna say, you know what? Okay, cool. And you'll work with it. You'll work with it because this is what you want. Now, this would not surprise me from the organization known as the Chicago Bears. Wouldn't surprise me. So basically, they're still making decisions. Because my question, look, I like the draft picks Ryan Poles has made. All right, some of the free agent signings, no, not good, bad, horrible. But you know what? I will take him swinging. I will take him swinging. But we don't even know if he missed with Eberflus. That might not be his guy. Remember, they had Bill Polian this time, like they had Ernie Accorsi with Ryan Pace. So they might have said, hey, remember, this is called the Good Old Boys Network for a reason, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. It's called the Good Old Boys Network for a reason. Friends hire friends. Friends hire friends. Okay? Friends hire friends. Let me tell you. When I worked in New York, all right, George ran the office. Okay? George ran our trading office. And there was a guy. He hired one of his buddies, Jimmy. Okay? Jimmy was like 65. Like 65, 60, 65-year-old guy who'd worked on Wall Street before. Didn't gave him a couple of contracts, clients, excuse me. Didn't really do much. Made about 100,000 a year, 80 to 100. No, probably 100. But that was and literally no one could say, you couldn't say anything to him because this was George's guy. You know what I mean? And this guy wasn't a jagbag about it. No, not at all. He wasn't arrogant. He didn't push limits. He was quiet. He's an old school Italian guy. He was quiet, went about his business. He knew. And he was there for, the time I was there and was making $100,000 a year. That's what friends do. So Ernie Corsi, this could have been a favor to somebody to get Ryan Poles in there, or it could have been a favor to get Eberflus. It could have been a favor to somebody. And the only way that Ryan Poles was going to get that job is if Eberflus was named head coach. Like I said, they could have disguised it any other way. Go take 3 or 4 more interviews, whatever. So now that Kevin Warren's there, how is this going to play out? Does Kevin Warren should have control over all of these guys. So does he get rid of Eberflus? What if we continue to play better and this defense gets much better? The defense has been improving. What if Tyson Bagent is a good game manager? And the Bears win 3 or 4 more games. You still get rid of him? Or do you say, hey, Eberflus, you stay, you run a defense, or get someone else here to run a defense, but you got to get rid of the OC. But then again, what if Tyson Bagent plays well? What if Justin comes back and plays well? Do you still get rid of the OC? There's a lot of factors involved here. You heard Eric say it on Monday. The deciding factor is Tyson Bagent. If Tyson Bagent plays well, here's what you can do. You can keep Justin, keep Tyson, and this is person. And I thought about it long and hard. And this is what I would do: keep Justin, keep Tyson. You got a 4th to 5th year option. You can tag him twice. Okay, you can tag him twice, which is not going to be too crazy. But it won't be too crazy. So you have year 5, year 6, you got 4 years with him. I'm of the thought, keep Justin Fields, you trade the number 1 pick, get a haul. Now you got at least 4 players, 5 players. And you're going to get a player too, most likely, because that's how Ryan Poles works. So you're going to get tons of draft picks, and we're going to get a player, and a plug and play player. Now, mind you, we're not even dealing with free agents. I mean, with the trade deadline, which is coming up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday. The Panthers are already looking to unload 2 of their defensive players. The 2 defensive players that we asked for before DJ Moore. So now, if you can go get one of those guys, and get a haul, hold on, player. So you can get a left tackle, you can get a center. Like, I'm looking in the first 2 rounds. At 3, 4, 5, 6, you got to work and show me. Give me first and second round players on the offensive line. Period. You go get a stud first tackle, get a stud late first or second round center, and now we're cooking with gas. Get another stud wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr., to go with DJ Moore. There's a whole bunch of stuff that can happen. And now you're cooking with gas. And I know this is a big if. But you make Getsy, you tell him this is how I need this offense run. Period. End of story. And the only problem with that is, and let him know, like, you're gone. Janoko will be the OC. He'll keep the same system. He can adjust it in the offseason, whatever. There's got to be some sort of repercussions, of consequences. But that's where I would go. That's how I would like to see them moving. I would like to see them moving forward. Cornelius, bingo. We have that first round pick in 2025. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You know, we're going to take a quick break because, you know, I'll go on a rant for another 2 hours. I was at a podcast last night with 2.5 hours. I was a guest. It wasn't mine. We're going to bring in our guest. All right. She covers the Bears for Heavy.com and BearReport.com. But let's take a quick break. A quick one, right about a minute. Nothing too crazy, because I want to hear what she's got to say. So we're going to listen to Beth. We're going to welcome Beth Mishler-Elmore, good friend of the program. We're going to welcome her on the other side. So don't go anywhere. Make it quick. If you got to go to the bathroom real quick, fast, in a hurry. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17, back he goes, here comes Chubb, there goes the ball, touchdown, Jones will walk at the left tackle, time for Fields, now he'll accelerate to get the first down, and break tackles, and he's off to the races, oh, he got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So
are you with Bajan now going? You had a nice chemistry with Justin Fields, but now you have a chemistry with Bajan, or is that something you got to develop on quick, fast, in a hurry?
Got to be quick, fast, and hurry. You know, we got to play football. He's a baller, as you can see. So
just got to get open for them and just be who I am, and then the rest of the receivers be who they are.
DJ, if it is Tyson going forward for X amount of weeks, what's your role in making sure he's up to speed?
Just being available and open like I've been, and just egging them on and just giving them that encouragement that he's playing this year.
Back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of yours truly. I was able to get in there and get that video, and I wanted to know, does he have chemistry? Does he have to develop chemistry? It's different. Trust me, it takes a minute, and when you're used to catching footballs from a certain guy, and it hasn't even been, the chemistry hasn't even been that great with Justin and DJ. Because one thing, if you caught what he said, kind of a little shot. He said, "I'm gonna need to continue to get open like I have been." Did you hear that? Did you hear that? DJ Slick, he's been saying a lot of other things you got to catch, and it goes over your head. So we're gonna bring in our guest. We're gonna see if she heard it. She caught it. All right, she is a good friend of the program. Again, she covers the Bears for Heavy.com and BearReport.com. As well, and you can find her on Twitter at Bear. New Twitter handle. Well, not new anymore, but when she first got it, I love it. Guys, let's welcome back Beth Mishler-Elmore. Beth, good morning.
Hey, Shawn. Good to see you, Superback.
How we doing?
I wish one of these times we'd actually have something good to talk about. It seems like it's
for real
on this road, doesn't it? Eventually we have optimism, and then they give us no reason to have it. But what you were saying about DJ Moore, oh yeah, I heard that. It was subtle.
Very
there, and it's clear. Like, it's clear to anybody watching that he should be getting the ball. Like, he's been clapping his hands off and on all season. Like, here I am, open now, pull the trigger. And it's just been really frustrating to watch because he's clearly got the talent, and we saw what he could do against the Commanders. I'm pretty sure he could do that, not those kind of numbers, but make plays week in and week out, and they're just not making him the focal point of the offense. It's so frustrating.
It really is. And you wonder how much, and he's a good soldier. He's not the kind of guy, he's not, throw me the damn ball type of TO. Okay. He's the kind of guy who'll just kind of do or just kind of roll with the punches, which is good and bad. And I hope he steps up at least in meetings and doesn't tell us about it. I hope he says, "Hey, listen, throw me the damn ball." Yeah. I don't have to say it in public. I don't have to sell it to the media. I'm telling you, quarterback. I'm telling you, OC. I'm telling you, head coach. Get me the God-blessed ball. This young man is amazing. All right, we saw what he can do. So to specifically not throw to him in the open, and this is what bothers me. We threw to him once or twice in the first half. Why? Why are we trying to outsmart ourselves and be the smartest guy in the room just because that they realize that DJ Moore's a stud? Guess what? Here's a flash. Here's a news flash. Everybody knows DJ Moore's a stud. So you're you're not doing anyone any favors.
Right.
Why do you think that Luke Getsy decided to not go to him, even force plays to him in the first half?
I think it's just like what you said. I think he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and I think there might be some sort of idea in his head, like, okay, everybody thinks we're going to go to DJ Moore. We're not going to go to DJ Moore. But who else? I mean, Darnell Mooney's fine. He's fine, but he's not DJ Moore. Like you said, we've seen what he can do. He can make plays. He can break tackles. He can catch. He can play pretty much anywhere on the field, and he's got great hands. Like you said, he's not a diva. He doesn't have an attitude. He's like the perfect player. He's 26. He could develop with whoever you bring in at quarterback. Like they could build a rapport, and it's just not happened with him in Fields the way that we hoped it would. And I blame Luke Getsy more than anybody. If I could get in his head that. Wow, that's like a bad neighborhood. I don't know that I want to go in there, but I would just like to know, maybe for a minute, like what the hell he's thinking with his game planning, because just when you think he's on a roll and he's got it, he turns the page to something completely different, and he's got Fields doing things that he shouldn't be doing. He's got, he doesn't account for facts like Brian Flores is so incredibly blitz happy that maybe we might want to, game plan for that. No, we're just going to trot out the same shit we do every week. Sorry. It's just week in and week out. It's unbelievable because you expect one thing, and they sometimes give you like a little nibble of like, okay, this is good. We can do this. We can run a functional offense in the NFL. It's like, no, we can't. It's just unreal. I've never seen anything like it.
don't apologize for being passionate and being real, Beth. Don't, because I'll be cursing. It's okay if you curse. It's all right. We're good. And that was it. That was on Getsy, and that was on Fields as well. That first play. I'm watching. I'm like, okay, like they're crowding the line. All right, I'm thinking which way they're gonna roll protection, right or left. All right, they're just gonna have to roll. I'm like, there's no coverage. I'm like, okay, give me a hot call. Something. I'm thinking
quick out.
Player, the coach in me is like, okay, I see it. Okay, they want to get burned first play of the game. They want to be down 7-0. Excellent. And he doesn't roll. The protection slides right. He doesn't roll. Last guy. And I'm thinking, you had 10 days to prepare for this. You saw he blitzed at 50 to 60%. You don't think he's going to probably blitz on the first play? Call me crazy. Then he shows it. My issue is this. Do you think Justin Fields has the authority to audible? Because if he does, then that's completely on Justin. Whether they're just showing him the back out or not, you have to make that adjustment. Your thoughts? Do you think he has the autonomy to audible?
I don't think they trust him enough. I don't. I think, because you're right. If he does have the ability to change the play at the line, if he can see, but I don't think they trust him well enough to give him that. I think that was part of why he maybe said what he said earlier in the year about having a lot of info in his head and a lot of voices from the coaching, and that he wants to just say F it and go play ball. I think they've got him thinking too much, and they're in his head too much, and they're not letting him, change plays at the line of scrimmage. I think Luke Getsy went from Aaron Rodgers to Justin Fields. And of course you're going to trust Aaron. He's like one of the best ever at, diagnosing what he's seeing, changing the play, getting the defense to do whatever he wants them to, essentially. Justin Fields isn't that. And I think that might have been a stark difference for Luke Getsy. And they might say that they trust him to do it, but it's clear that they don't have trust in him based on the play calling and based on what they have him doing in certain situations, to me anyway. That's my opinion. I don't think he has the autonomy that he should, because if you're going to try and give that young man, an opportunity to play for his future, you should let him play how he knows how to play and let him, if he's good, he's the one, it's his body on the line here. So if he sees a blitz coming, he should be able to, like you said, like, I'm going to get this out to DJ Moore quick. We're just going to do a quick out. We're going to do a quick. That's what I expected. I was just blown away when he was sacked in like 1.5 seconds.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. And it boggles my mind. Like what is it that they're seeing that he doesn't do? Cause he's shown flashes where he holds defenders. He'll hold the safety.
Yes.
DJ Moore's touchdown, one of his touchdowns in the left corner. He held the safety, the left safety, I guess, facing. He held them looking at the guy up the seam, able to hit. So his ability to read defenses. So when people say that he can't read defenses, at that point I don't even talk to these people, because okay, then you don't know football, because you can't see how he's maneuvering people. Then I can't talk to you, because it's a pointless conversation. But we've seen this. We've seen him do that. Justin Fields is one of the most intelligent guys. The little aptitude test that they talked about. He scored the perfect score. What is this? Why could it be Luke Getsy overcompensating? So when you're with Aaron Rodgers, he's like, shut up, sit down, enjoy the credit because I'm doing it. Yep. And now is he trying to overcorrect? So now he wants to micromanage? Could that be it?
I don't know. I think part of him is that's his system, and he just wants it run how he wants it run. These guys Nagy was the same way. A lot of these guys, especially first time, and he's a first time offensive coordinator, first time coaches, first time GMs, even kind of get this it's arrogance almost about them, and they've never done it before, but they know. And it's just like he reminds me of Matt Nagy in that way, where he's just going to run what he's going to run, and he will not. But last year, that's what makes it so baffling, is because unlike Nagy, last year he made changes, he made adjustments, and he gave us hope a little bit with what he designed and what he had Justin doing, and Justin was capable in that offense. So it was entirely baffling when they started the season, almost like, you know what, we're gonna abandon everything entirely. We're not gonna have any rollouts. We're not going to target DJ Moore twice. We spent all this money. We're not going to have a pass. We're not going to try and get in Jordan Love's face. We're not going to do anything. Like you said earlier, they had 10 days to prepare for the Vikings. They had an off season to prepare for the Packers. they are not good at preparation. This whole coaching staff, none of them, offensive or defensive, on either side of the ball, are they good at preparing for whatever's coming next week? I've just not seen it.
How do you think this plays out? So now we got Tyson Bagent Man, okay? Secret Bagent Man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for him. I am. This kid, I asked him at the game, in a post-game presser, I'm like, how confident, if you moving forward, if you're QB1, how confident are you leading this team to victory? And Beth, without even skipping a beat, without even, he's like, I'm very confident. I was like, okay, I like it, kid. I like the moxie. I like the self-confidence. I love it. So now let's get out there. The one thing that I'm anxious to see, like, mind you, I didn't want Justin Fields to get hurt. I'm a Justin Fields guy. Many people are Justin Fields guy, but we're here now. He's hurt.
Yep.
I look at Tyson Bagent, and here's the thing that most people, again, don't get. He threw over 2,000 passes in college. 2,000. His junior year, he had 579 attempts. His senior year, he had 572 attempps. There's not a situation that he is going to come in, he's going to encounter that he hasn't seen before, not with 2,000 passes. Now, the skill level is going to be different. Yes, of course. But I can't find a situation that hasn't seen and he hasn't been comfortable in. And I'm anxious to see what he does, because he was getting the ball out quick. He was very decisive. He looked like he was very well versed in his offense, and that shook me. That surprised me. I was like, whoa. Even I know he had the sack strip, forced fumble. Okay, great. And the pick at the end. But other than that, he looked good, which is one of the reasons I'm excited to see how he progresses with all the reps this week.
Yep.
With hitting DJ Moore, with getting the chemistry with DJ Moore and Mooney and all those other guys and Tyler Scott. I want to see how that plays. How do you think it's going to play out with him in his first NFL start?
I think he's going to like you and I talked before the season about how we expected to see the short passing game be a big part of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a lot better with Tyson Bagent, to be honest with you, because he gets the ball out quick. He gets rid of the ball quicker than Justin Fields. And I think a lot of people, they like that. I like that too. He doesn't have the arm or, the athletic acumen of Justin Fields. But like you said, a little moxie can go a long way, especially in this league. And that's the kind of thing that, say, people like Mitch Trubisky lacked, where they just never believed that they could do it. This kid comes in with all that experience, and football is football, man. Like you said, the competition is different. The competition is different, but the game is the same. And it's clear he loves the game. And it's clear when he's out on the field that he's in 100%. He's gonna go. I think the early sack fumble, I mean, he got rattled a little bit early. I thought it calmed down nicely, and it was his first regular season game. And just like in the preseason, the moment wasn't too big for him. He led the offense, and overall his numbers were, better than I thought they'd be. And, everybody's just like, he can be a capable backup. I agree. I don't think he's going to be like this huge, superstar or anything, but I think he can lead it. I mean, I've seen Trent Dilfer win a Super Bowl, so I think this kid's got a shot. I mean, he's smart, and I think he's going to run the Getsy's offense pretty effectively, just because of the short passing game and because he's very quick to get rid of the ball. He's better at placing, I think, the ball and just trusting that his receivers are going to be there and throwing it to the spot than I think a lot of people think he is. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he does with a week's worth of prep. I hope, it would be nice if the offensive line stayed the same for like 2 or 3 weeks in a row. But that just seems to be, injuries are.
Now you're asking a lot, young lady. Now you're asking a lot.
Right? I don't want to get too crazy. So that's probably going to be hard on any quarterback, especially a young one who's just trying to navigate his way in the league. But I'm excited. I think the kid's going to surprise a lot of people, and you can just kind of tell when somebody gets on the football field or not, whether they're going to be a baller. And he's, if Chase Daniel's the all-time GOAT of backup quarterbacks, I think Tyson Bagent's going to have him beat.
And there's one thing I think he gets it. He understands what he can do well, and he understands what he doesn't do well.
Yep.
All right. And I think sometimes it's more important to understand what you don't do well so you don't do it. So you don't try it. So you stick to what you do well. And he's good. He reminds me, and people are going to lose their shit over this, but he reminds me of Joe Montana. So it's quick. He's in rhythm. It's here. Joe Montana didn't go deep unless he knew he had Jerry Rice. Everything was 15, 20 yards and in. It was slants. It was curls. It was hitches. It was ins. Everything, but it was all on timing. And he didn't have the strongest arm, but you didn't have to have the strongest arm. You just had to get the ball out on time, which is what he did.
Yep.
This guy has a little stronger arm than Joe did, so he can push it a little more. It's not I don't think his arm is anywhere near as strong as Justin's, but he can get a 15, 20-yard comeback. I'm just worried about the go routes and things like that. Sure. I'm excited to see how this guy. Here's the one thing that bugs me, though, Beth. What do you think? What about the center position? When you have to worry about where the hell the God blessed snap is going to be, and you're getting a rookie who's going to have to take his eyes off the coverage to find the ball, then get back on the coverage. To me, that's a big problem with the errant and the crazy snaps that we're going to be getting that we saw from both centers last week. Talk to me about how you think that's going to affect this young man, or do you think they should just put his ass under center, which personally I do, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think they should put him under center. I'm also wondering too why the heck they traded for Dan Feeney. I mean, maybe try him out too. They did. I mean, they traded for that guy earlier, and he's not seeing the field really that much. And he's, that was a disaster. I mean, we got to start keeping track. I got to start keeping track. There needs to be a legit stat, like bungled snaps, fumbled snaps, high snaps, low. It was awful, like every other play. That could definitely affect him. I'd put him, right under center. But I would also maybe see, like, Bajan after the game said that he's, had equal time and had equal snaps with both Whitehair and Patrick. So he might not have the most experience with Feeney. I don't know. You didn't really mention that. But at this point, that's a pretty pivotal part of being a center and of the offense and of a functional offense. And they have to fix that quick. I don't know what the heck was going on with Whitehair, if he just had the yips or whatever, but it didn't. If he does, that's a bad thing. And Patrick didn't. I mean, geez, that was no improvement. He came in there and it was just kind of like the same thing over and over again. Second verse, same as the first. It's just, yeah, I would try Dan Feeney and keep, try to keep Tyson protected by, having him under center as much as possible.
I said on the show I was on last night, and I was like, I can't fathom that. Like, you're a center, okay? You're a center. It's muscle memory. And I was talking to the guys. I'm like, it's like, we've all played football. We've all played basketball. I said, how many of us can hit a free throw with our eyes closed? Most of the time we can, or we're pretty darn close. Mm-hmm. Why? Because it's muscle memory.
Right.
So why don't you? And I said, for something like this, and I coached quarterbacks for a couple of years, and I have the center, because we didn't run a shotgun most of the time. I had the center, the quarterback, and then the receivers, quarterbacks and receivers. And it just takes 5 minutes. Just takes 5 minutes a day. Just practice. When you go home, you're a multimillionaire. All right, set up something in your garage or something, and just snap the ball. Have a metal something, and bing, just so you know, so it hits. It doesn't take a lot, and this type of negligence is what's bothersome to me. This type of negligence is a damn near criminal. Like, you're making all this money, and for something that literally would take you 15 to 20 minutes a day in the off season to correct, you won't do. That shows me the mentality of this team and of certain players, and that is why this team is lost 14 out of the last 15 or 15 out of the last 16. Yeah,
they haven't won a game in the NFC North under Matt Eberflus. So that's I'm not out on Ryan Poles yet, but when you come in saying that you're going to take the North and never look back, and then you don't win any of your first 10 games, that's
you got to take the North first.
Yeah, that's really not a good look, So,
where do you think he goes? So let's get to the crazy part, the meat and bones of it. So now what do? Like, do you think Eberflus is on a hot seat? And if you do, is Poles on a hot seat? I
think Eberflus for sure is on the hot seat. I think there's no question. It's clear in his press conferences, pick one, anyone, that he's overwhelmed and that he doesn't know how to explains certain things, player injuries being at the top of that list. But I do think that Ryan Poles is going to get another crack at it with another coach and his quarterback. I do. I think that McCaskey made a really big deal. There was all that pomp and circumstance of like, I'm going to go get him at the airport. He's my guy. I don't think after 2 years, it's just going to be over with him. I think look how long they gave Ryan Pace too. I like a couple of the things that Poles has done. The Chase Claypool thing is awful. But they're in position. They're still in a position where there's hope for the future. And that is something. So I think they're going to keep him around, but I think no matter what happens, Eberflus, his whole staff, I mean, another concerning thing is, everybody's like, well, if you fire him, who would take over? There's nobody competent on the staff. That's also a friggin'
problem.
I mean, you've got me being like, can Tyke Tolbert do anything? I mean, we don't know. Maybe there's a diamond in the rough, but it sure ain't Eberflus. He's a great defensive coordinator, I'm sure, but like a head coach, he's just overwhelmed.
So let me ask you this, and guys, we're joined by Beth Mishler-Elmore. She covers the Bears for Heavy.com and BearReport.com, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Here's my thought, Beth, and what do you think? Do you think that Eberflus is even Ryan Poles' guy? Because hear me out. McCaskey was doing a whole bunch of interviews, all right? And then when he got the gig, his famous thing was, you don't have to do anymore. You don't have to come to Hell's Hall. I'll do the interviews of my job.
Yep.
Was one of the contingencies of you getting this job is this guy needs to be the head coach, because they did reach out to Bill Polian, just like Ernie Accosi
Right.
with Ryan Pace.
Yep.
And they gave him John Fox. Do you think they gave him or made him take Eberflus? And if they did, then I could really easily see like, okay, then Poles, you got a chance to get your head coach next.
That could be a part of it. I'm not sure. There's also that talk too about how both Poles and Eberflus share the same agent in former Bear Trace Armstrong, right? So there could be some sort of underlying storyline that we don't know about on the side that contributed to Matt Eberflus getting hired. I think Ryan Poles, I could too see. I mean, he's relatively young for a GM, right? He's very young.
You got to do to get in. Hey,
right. And he might. I could very well see that being a scenario. I mean, you kind of bring these folks in for a reason, right? And if Bill Polian was all about Matt Eberflus, then I mean, but you look at the other candidates that were out, and you just wonder why there were no offensive, like really strong offensive-minded coaches.
Bingo, Beth. That's another thing. Why you got Justin Fields,
right?
You got Justin Fields, so you go get a defensive head coach.
Yeah. I didn't understand it at the time, simply because you had folks like from the Shanahan tree, like look what Mike McDaniel's doing down there with Tua, and Brian Daboll's not having the best season, but he was another name. They just really didn't show.
Last year he did. Last year the Giants did well. They made the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so that was my biggest problem with it at the time, was it just baffled me, because you've got this promising young quarterback who could be a star in this league and probably will if and when he leaves Chicago. That'll be fun to watch. But you're going to hire a defensive guy that's never been a head coach before too, which if it had been someone who had head coaching experience, I would have been probably a little more like Leslie Frazier. I would have probably liked that a little bit more. But as it stands, Eberflus is just in over his head.
I couldn't agree with you more. So now what do you go? What do you do? If you're the Bears, all right, assuming Poles is clear, he's free and clear, all right, gets rid of Eberflus, okay? What do you do with Justin? Do you keep him? Do you trade him? If you do, now do you go get Caleb Williams, or do you say, hey, I'm sticking with Justin and Tyson Bagent, and they can do me for a while, do this team well for a while we build around them? Because the options now are plentiful, especially if Tyson Bagent shows to be more than just a game manager. Not put him in the Pro Bowl or Canton by any stretch, but if he's more than a game manager, now you got some real decisions to make, Ryan Poles. What would you do?
If Tyson Bagent shows a lot, and if he shows something that he can play in this league, and if his instincts are out there and he's making plays and he's already kind of exciting to watch. But if he continues that and gets better, Yeah, I don't think you turn down drafting a prospect like Caleb Williams. I just don't. I think probably just move on from Justin, and especially if you got the top 2 picks, you grab Marvin Harrison and you've already got a top target. But none of it would mean anything unless you address the offensive line in free agency and bring in someone like Johnson up in Detroit, someone who's young and exciting. If you're gonna bring in an unproven coach this time, at least bring in someone who's offensive minded and who's done innovative things and who's proven to make players like Jared Goff look capable. That's blowing my mind what's happening.
Yeah, it really is.
But he's not the only candidate I consider, of course, but I just really hope they look towards offense. Because that's going to be a problem, a good kind of problem if Bagent plays well, but it all depends on where the draft pick is too, right? I mean, Caleb Williams he got pressured quite a bit. We saw how human he could be against Notre Dame, and his line was a big reason why. So I don't think who it matters if you get at quarterback if you don't have a line. And the Bears are getting better on the line, but their health and their depth, it needs to get better. They can never have continuity, and that's just you got to have continuity, especially for a young quarterback. It's just has been disastrous. So I to answer your question, that was a babble, but I think if Bagent shows something, keep him, and absolutely. And then I'd draft Caleb Williams and just make sure to get best available offensive quarter. Yeah.
Well, me and you are on opposite sides of the fence. This one, I'd say stay both of them, get the haul, and build a team around them. Get the 5 or 6 picks and a player too. And
I mean, if they get a good coach in there and they get a new offensive line, and I kind of too want Marvin Harrison. I think he's the generational player of the draft, to be honest with you, over Caleb Williams. But yeah, I don't think that's bad. That's building it's still building. It's what Poles did initially when he got here to get us into the position we're in now, to where we have draft capital for the future. It's always a good thing. But yeah, Fields, you've got to get somebody in there. If we keep him, we got to get a whole new clean house.
Yes, we definitely. I couldn't agree more. Because if you keep this guy, then you know what, trade him. Because I like Justin Fields big time. First of all, you're screwing with his career. You're screwing with his opportunity to make money.
Yep.
All right. He's not making it 250, 300, 350 if they don't get somebody in here who develops him. And to give that dude, I mean, this guy could be one of the faces of the league, but they just don't develop him. And you know what would hurt so bad is if we do trade him and he goes to Atlanta or he goes somewhere and someone says, ha, 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 thank you. And this guy becomes a perennial Pro Bowl player. I'm like, oh, God. I don't even want to say he wins the SB, because I think I would be sick to my stomach if he took another team that far. But
that's the way it goes, though, for Bears fans, isn't it? I mean,
unfortunately, yes.
It's just kind of the way it goes. We watch him struggle in a system and have a coach who never tailors it to the quarterback and never surrounds the quarterback with top tier talent. And then the quarterback goes and succeeds when a coach does that for him. And I hope you're right. I like Justin too. I think he's a good kid. And I want him to, he's a man, not kid, but I'm just old. But I just want him to get a little Jay Cutler. You remember when he was like, tell Mike Martz I said F him. And he just get that. I just want him to, when he's healthy, push that Getsy bullshit aside and play football. Because it's his future. It's his, and Bears fans don't give a shit if he's going to, go against what Luke Getsy wants, as long as it's effective.
I said this, I don't know if I said it to you, but I've said it ad nauseum. People in the chat will confirm it. He's got to have more of an asshole about him.
Yes,
that's how. Yes, he's such a good soldier. He grew up in a nice 2-parent home, and nothing wrong. I'm not dissing that at all. But I'm saying his dad was a cop, so he's very structured. And then he listened to all his coaches. And I'm not saying don't listen to your coaches, but I'm saying there comes a point in time when you're on the field, the coaches coach you. But when you're on the field, you're playing.
Right.
You have to make the decision that's best for you and the team at that particular point. The coaching sometimes has to go out the window because you need to survive. You need to make a play. You need to do something off script. He needs to do something more off script. And he needs to say, hey, you know what? This play's stupid. All right, listen, we're going to change this, and I played with a couple of great quarterbacks in college, first team All-American. And I had 2 other quarterbacks that took me to national championships. And there were times when the play would come in. One of my guys, the player would come in, he looked at the receiver because we didn't have the we're not running that stupid shit. And he said, all right, he gave me this combo on the left side, give you a combo on the right side, right, ready, break. We scored a touchdown. The OC's like, I didn't call that. We're like, we know. That's why we scored. And that's what he needs to say. Yes. I know what's good. And I think he's able to. I think he has a much better grasp of the system than maybe Getsy thinks or wants him to have, because now Getsy say, do it my way, do it my way, do it my way. If you're a good coach, say, hey, do it my way unless you got a better way. That's the way a great offensive coordinator, do it my way unless you got a better way. And if it works, good. If not, I'm going to chew your ass out. And then I'll still have you change plays later if necessary. I don't think Getsy's giving him enough leeway, and Justin's got to take it, even if it's not being given.
Agree. Yeah, that's why when you asked me earlier if I thought he was allowed to change play, like audible and change play, I don't think he's got a lot of leeway there. I really don't. I think he's just kind of been handcuffed, and it's a shame because he's a joy to watch when he's playing free.
Oh my gosh. Beth, great stuff as always. Me and you could talk for hours talking this stuff. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor though. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, so you can find me on Bear Report. I do post-game and pre-game articles there every week, and you can also find all kinds of stuff at Heavy on Bears on Facebook.
Great stuff. Hey, we'll be in touch soon again, and just love talking Bears with you.
You too, Shawn.
All righty, thanks.
Take care.
Bye. Guys, that's Beth Mishler-Elmore. She covers the Bears for Heavy.com and for BearReport.com. We're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we'll see if we can get this God-blessed video with Mason West. All right, so don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down the field. And Cowboys. Still running. Made one way. Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
How long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
It's hard when you go out there and you think they're going to do one thing and they do a whole multitude of things that they either put in or just had something that we just are playing with.
A lot of stuff you haven't seen on tape.
No, they just maybe ran it a different way or got to it a different way. So that was just it.
How did you think Tyson handled the moment?
Oh yeah, they were great. You know, Tyson came in with a lot of energy. We seen him out there just running around playing football. And I never seen a pitch and catch like him and Tyler did on the sideline. So I was like, ooh, about to win, but we didn't.
Oh, welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. That was our guy, DJ Moore. You know, I like DJ. I do. I really wish him well in his stay here. I really want that. I want that chemistry to be there. I really, really do. We're going to try and get this thing together. Let's see. Let's check it out. Oh goodness, no. And my guy had. There you go. No. Oh goodness. See, this is why. Goodness. I really wanted to get to hear that interview. We're gonna have to save it for Friday. God bless it. You know, it's frustrating. I asked Beth about is this Ryan Poles guy? There's a lot of different theories. I find it very difficult to wrap my head around the fact that people we consider football people are so damn stubborn, naive, arrogant, in that bottom line is, and maybe because I've worked with a lot of different coaches and I've worked with good coaches, I've worked with bad coaches. And the one thing that good coaches do is they try to win. All right. They try to win. All right. And you win by any means necessary. And even if it's an offspring of your system and your ideology, and you have to morph it because of the talent that you have, then you morph it because of the talent that you have or don't have. Until you can get the players in that you want to run that particular system, you run the system to the best of the abilities of the players that you have. And the reason that I still can't find, but the reason you have Justin in shotgun so often is befuddling. The reason you run RPO on 3rd and 1 is befuddling. The reason you don't have a jumbo package on a short yardage package with an offensive lineman and a fullback with 21 personnel, 22 personnel is befuddling. The reason that you don't have these centers work on shotgunning the snap for 5 to 10 minutes a day to make sure this doesn't happen in the game and cause a big play the other way is befuddling. So this is a scathing indictment on this coaching regime. Scathing indictment. Because if you take care of that, you know, you've heard me say it before. My guy JJ. JJ said, if you take care of all the little things, there are no big things. So do you think it's a little thing, just 5 minutes a day working on shotgun snaps? Yep. Get your ass out to practice beforehand. Hell, 10, 15 snaps. Man, maybe not even 5 minutes. 10, 15 snaps beforehand. You got guys out there, assistants, and not even assistants, but ball boys and everything else out there. You get two of them. One of them hands you the ball, the other one catches the ball. And then he throws it to the guy in front of you, and he hands it. That's simple. Little thing. Take care of that. There is no big thing. There is no wayward snap going over Justin's head or rolling to Tyson Bagent or going to the left or going to the right. Damn, these guys got to be freaking Gold Glove shortstops to get a goddamn snap. And that takes time away from looking at the defense. Defenses shift. They disguise coverages. So what you're doing is you're screwing your quarterback. Because if I'm looking and I see a certain coverage, I'm thinking, okay, here's where I'm probably going to go because here are the soft spots in this coverage that I see. But once you get the ball and it starts to change, all of a sudden now you're like, instead of cover 2, it's cover 3. Different soft spots. But you can't notice that immediately because you're looking for the God-blessed ball. The ball's on the ground. The ball is up overhead. You got to tip it to yourself, get it, come down. Now the time you come down, they're ready and they're cover 3 already. And you're thinking, where the soft spot is in the cover 2, and now you have to readjust. These are all things that happen like this. So if you take care of the little things, there are no big things. And what did I say before? You either coach it or you allow it. It's one or the other. Things happen on a football field because they're coached to happen on the field or they're allowed to happen on the field. And the fact that they were still having a God-blessed issue with the quarterback center exchange via the shotgun means it's being allowed. Because if that was a problem for you, it should be fixed. And it's not even a difficult one. We're not asking you to change the way that you're standing, going from right to left, right side of the line to the left side of the line. We're asking you to do something that is a necessity to your position. A necessity to your position, Abe. This is in your job description as a center. And you can't do it? You won't do it? Is what I was telling Beth. The fact that you don't want to do it, the fact that you don't want to get better, that bothers me. As a player, if you know damn well you're having issues snapping, then work on it. Like Shaq with his free throws. Work on the goddamn free throws. But you won't do it? You won't make sure that your game is tight? You're not going to do that for your teammates? Listen, I played with hundreds and hundreds of guys. Played on different teams. I can't remember a guy who had issues and refused to work on his shortcomings. I can't. And I played with hundreds. I've been on teams with hundreds of different guys from grammar school to high school to college to my professional level, to semi-pro level. And if there's an issue with a player, they're always working on it. And you mean to tell me that this can't be fixed by the player himself, just with a little extra time before practice, after practice? And then the head coach who does it and the offensive coordinator who sees this and say, hey, you know what, to mitigate this while you're working on that, we're gonna get the quarterback under center. Well, it's a lot tighter, it's a lot more efficient. We can get him in rhythm. This is an institutional failure. Institutional failure. And then you guys wonder why David Montgomery left. Then you wonder why David Montgomery chose to leave this organization and sign with Detroit. So don't sit there and say, oh, we shouldn't have let David Montgomery go. David Montgomery, he was a free agent. Free agency works two ways. The player, the organization wanting a player, and a player wanting to sign with an organization. It takes two to tango. He did not want to sign here. Now you're starting to see all the chinks in the armor. No pun intended. I don't want anyone to call me inappropriate comments by Shawn. All the dents in the armor. How's that? But now you're starting to see him. And I feel bad for people like DJ Moore. DJ Moore came here thinking, man, I got a stud quarterback. I haven't had one in a while. And he comes into this cluster mess. They threw me about 2 times game 1. Did you not know who I am? Did you not read the back of my football card? Did you not remember that I've averaged 1,000 yards a season for my first 5 seasons? Did you not know that? Was it a classic oversight? Why am I getting the ball twice in the opening game? Justin, why are you not force feeding me the God-blessed ball? Because here's how this works. When you force feed the ball, DJ Moore is an uber competitor. So whether he's double teamed, he's going to get the goddamn ball. He's going to make plays, and they might knock it down sometimes. And if they do, it's only going to fuel his desire to make sure that he catches the ball when he's double teamed. So now if he's being double teamed, guess what they're going to do? They're going to triple team him. And that means everybody else faces man coverage. Or zones are going to be out of whack. A lot more holes and soft spots in the zones because they're shading, they're double and triple teaming him. And this is where Justin can now go away from DJ Moore. But Justin needs to force feed him. Hey, homie, I'm coming at you. What's DJ Moore going to say? No, they were double teaming me. Don't throw it. No, he's like, throw it, partner. I got it. I'm going to get it. Remember how many times did we see Cutler force it to Brandon Marshall? And that Joker came down with it. DJ Moore will do the same thing. You know, a lot of this is Justin. Justin, you have to grow up. You have to be defiant. Like big picture, this is hundreds of millions of dollars for you. Hundreds of millions. Like they're not going to give you with this. This is exactly what the Bears want because they know Justin Fields can play. I think they keep him. They keep him. You build around him. So now you don't pick up his 5th-year option, or you know what? You do pick up his 5th-year option. No problem. It's a nice chunk, but it's not nowhere near the chunk he's going to get is if you extend him and give him the contract. You give it. Let me find it. Let me double check. What is the? Let me just make sure. I need to find out the franchise tag. There we go. $32 million. Okay. With this, now let's follow the money. You sign him to it's $32.416 million. All All right, that's the franchise tag this year. It's going to go up. Okay. Let's see. It's 4 years, 18 mil. All right, let's pick it up. With a 3. What's this fully? Goodness, come on, tell me. Trying to find out what the 5th year of his contract would be. Son of a biscuit. All right, because if it's 32 mil, if it's 32 million, at least you know, and it's paid up front. If you get tagged, it's guaranteed. Period. End of story. You break your toe, you tear your ACL at the day at 10 seconds after you sign it, too damn bad. But it makes sense. Here you go. Here's the contracts. This is what I was looking at. All right, we're in. So his base salary, what was the signing bonus? The signing bonus was 11 mil. So he got 11 mil up front. All right, so his first year base salary was 660, 825. This year he's 1.18. Next year is 1.6. Then his 5th year, they have to kind of figure that out. I don't know what his 5th year option is. I'm trying to figure that out. But anyway, you can get him for $3 million his 5th year. Who knows? 5. That's a lot cheaper than, and then the franchise tag, 32. Just easy. That's a lot cheaper than going 5 years for $235 million. It's a lot cheaper. I think they're going to be committed to Justin Fields. And I think they're going to get everything around him. Okay? Because you've seen in high school and in college, when he has talent around him, he can lead you to the promised land. Although they didn't win the national championship game, he got him to the playoffs, and he got him to the national championship game in his 2nd year. So you give him an offensive line. And not just give him an offensive line, give him one more receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr., and give him somebody who knows how to use him properly. Everybody's going to say Caleb Williams. There's something, I'm telling you, there's something about Caleb Williams is unbelievably talented. Don't get me wrong. He's unbelievably talented. Something about him and his moxie and his aura. It's not sitting well with me. Already there's rumors. This is per, where the hell was it? Pro Football PFF or I can't remember. And I don't want to misquote them. Where he said he wants part ownership in the team that drafts him. What? It can't happen. It's a conflict of interest. It's a conflict of interest. You know, you're asking for a lot of shit. You're asking for a whole bunch, and you haven't even done anything yet. I get it. You're a great quarterback in college, but that doesn't mean you're going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. Ryan Leaf was another generational player, him and Peyton Manning. Didn't work out that way. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for players getting the bag. But there's still got to be a sense of, there's got to be a pecking order. There's got to be some boundaries. Like and it's tough to see. You know, Brett, coaching so many kids, my 15-year career, I've seen every type of player. And I've started, toward the end of my career, I started to see the more entitled players. And I feel that's where he is. I don't know. It just, again, I don't think he's a scrub. I think he's unbelievably talented. I just something about him and his game that I don't know if I would. I don't know. I don't know. You can call me crazy, you can call me wrong, but it's a gut feeling that I have watching him. Vaughn, what are you saying here, Papa? The only way I see them getting Caleb Williams if they get the first pick. If they don't get the. Oh, if they get the. Well, of course, that's the only way you're going to get it. But I wouldn't draft him. I wouldn't draft him. I wouldn't draft him. I'm happy with Justin, and I'm happy with all the draft picks and players that Justin can put on this team, can bring to this team. Look what DJ Moore. I know we're not using him very as we should. Imagine if we got Robert Burns from Carolina. Imagine if we got another guy that we traded for, or another guy that in the trade. I'm trading that number 1 pick. I'm trading it. You don't have to be my guy. Can you win? Yes. Can Tyson Bagent win if you go down? Yes. Okay, good. If Trent Dilfer can win a freaking Super Bowl, Justin Fields can win a Super Bowl. Man. Listen, 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Beth Mishler-Elmore, for coming on talking Bears with me. I want to thank you guys, all right, for tuning in. This chat was lit again. Great stuff. So Friday, I'm gonna try and get that interview up with Mason West. Friday, we got our guest list already. Herb Howard's going to join me. All right, talking Bears, and Fred Pfeiffer's going to join me talking Bulls. So make sure you tune in on Friday. This show will be replayed today at 4 o'clock, 4 to 6. So if you missed it here, you can catch it. And maybe I'll move it to 6 on Wednesdays, just so people can get home from work. And I think, we'll do it. We'll put it at 6 o'clock today on Wednesday. All right. So it'll be moving forward on Wednesday. It'll be 6 o'clock. People can get home and check it out. You don't have to. All right. Well, listen, I got to take off. I got to go pick up Mom. She's at CrossFit. I'm excited to see her. So listen. Same bad time, same bad channel on Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 Central Standard Time. So for everybody here, Steve, my producer, Elliot, our executive producer, Clarence, our social media guy, my co-host at Absentia, Maya Akai. Guys, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. The weather's going to be in the mid to high 60s today. Enjoy it. If you get out there, get a walk, spend it with your loved ones. All right. As you well know, tomorrow is not promised to anyone. All right. So this show will be replayed replay today at 6 o'clock. So make sure you check it out if you missed it. All right. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a phenomenal day. I'm out.